Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of the Men's Lounge. Last week we were here talking about men's health, especially health after 40. And there were so many things that were picked up. I hope you've started doing, cutting down some of the lifestyles that you have. I hope you are eating healthy. I hope you are hitting the gym, exercising and everything. I mean, you saw Tyron. Tyron looks very handsome. If I tell you his age, you won't believe me. But yes, that is who he is. And it's obvious all of us men want to look like him or want to look very young even after 40 and beyond. And so I'd urge you to still keep very healthy, keep safe. It's very important. Welcome once again. It's Men's Lounge. Obviously for a Thursday evening at 9 p.m. You know we are going to come here with a very exciting topic. Today we'll be discussing something very interesting, something that's around us, something that is found in almost every relationship, but how to deal with it. How is it helping? What is it doing to our relationships? Whether a positive or a negative, something we'll be discussing. I'll tell you about it. And also, let me start by urging you to be part of the show already. Join us on all our social media platforms at eTVGhana. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at eTVGhana. You can find us. The week has been very hectic. When I come back, we'll go into that as well. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly after this break. Come back if you're just joining us. We're in the lounge already. And I've got two handsome gentlemen with me. I'll be introducing them to you shortly. I told you that we're going to discuss something that's always with us. It's something that's been with us and it will always be with us. We can't run away from it, but we need to find out what it's doing to our relations, marriage and everything. And it has to do with insecurity. Now we are going to zero in on jealousy. Okay, jealousy. And I'll start by asking you out there, who is more jealous and why do you think that person is jealous? Is it the man or the woman? Send the messages. Let the messages start coming. And the number is 020-2222-054. I repeat, 020-2222-054. Feel free and also send us the messages on our social media platforms, Facebook and the rest. And I will make sure I read them. I'll share your comments so that all of us can hear from you as well. So tell me who is more jealous, the man and the woman, and why you think he or she is more jealous. Now back to the studio. I have two gentlemen with me, like I told you. When we started the show, you saw that beautiful song. What was the right word? Okay, so it touches my heart. That's how I'll put it. It's soul racking, you understand? And it's a gospel music. I have him here with me. Handsome gentleman, take tall. I'll be checking if he's not married, and you know what we do. Yeah. In the men's lounge, we try to, you know. All right, so I have here with me John Winner. John Winner. John Winner happens to be a gospel musician, and it's his song that you saw. I mean, you hear the voice, and then you see him, and you're like, oh, okay. So that voice came from a thick tall man. Usually, thick tall men we expect some kind of dinosaur kind of. But this man has something beautiful, and it's nice. And so I have John Winner with me. We are going to be discussing.
I'm humbled.
Jealousy. Is it healthy in a relationship or not? And not him alone. There is a usual face. He loves coming to the lounge. You know, lounge always welcomes every man. And so he's here with me by name Benny Oseidua. Benny Oseidua happens to be an HR performance consultant coach as well. And you will love how he speaks. Benny.
Sir.
You heard the sir. Sir. Yeah, that's it. Akwaba.
Yeah.
Charlie, good to see you guys.
Thank you.
John.
Pleasure.
It's your first time in the lounge.
Sure. It's already looking good.
Benny will give you the tips. We love to have fun.
Yeah.
We love to have fun.
Yeah.
So we are discussing something that's very peculiar in almost every kind of relationship. Insecurity. Jealousy. Often. So before we look at it, you know, oftentimes one of the things we look at is, okay, men, we actually feel that the women are much more jealous or they feel more insecure. But the question is, how true is that? Before we go, let's watch this Vox Pops. I mean, let's hear what people are saying and then we come back to you.
Some of them think they are not rich enough. They don't have the means to satisfy ladies. Others still think ladies are more demanding, and because of that, they feel if they are not rich or they don't have the means to get what ladies want, they find it very difficult attending to some of the ladies. So even if a lady have just a male friend who is richer or who is more handsome than they are, they feel so much jealous and insecure and always want to have an issue with the person.
Men are mostly insecure in a relationship. First, it's a career woman. They are very insecure with a career woman, especially a woman who don't have enough time in their house, in the relationship, And lack of communication too gives the man insecure because he wouldn't feel comfortable if the lady or the other partner is not communicating to him. And I think not picking calls too. Your man will call you today, you have excuse to give to him. Tomorrow you have excuse. Let's say a day you can give him excuse more than 10 times. He will be 100% insecure with you. The man have built something in you. The man is into you that any small thing you do, he get insecure. So I think there's a whole lot of stuff that gives men also insecure. Mostly, I don't believe in sexual aspect because it is not only sex that can keep a man.
Okay, some women they want a guy who is financially stable. So if you are like with a guy who doesn't have money, and maybe the lady too is someone, a person who likes dressing, outing, and those things, which those with money, then the lady might think that the guy she is with is not financially stable. She can go out for another one who is financially stable, and then when the person can provide her needs and all those things.
Right, so we are back, and you heard what the people are saying. It's beginning to look as if even the women don't know. Okay, let me leave it right here. Let me just. I don't want trouble for myself this week. Let me just leave it right here. So, guys, we're back. Right. So before we went to listen to our friends out there, I had said that oftentimes men, whenever we talk about insecurity or jealousy and everything, men seem to, or we seem to gravitate towards thinking that the women, But I read something that actually proves that men also have such, and in fact, a lot of it, not even a pinch of, men are much more jealous. But let's find out this. What is relationship insecurity and what causes it? I mean, in the first place, what is it? What's this insecurity thing in relationship? What really causes it?
Okay, I want to appreciate you for this time to be on the show. Now let's go deeper. I think when it has to do with insecurity in relationship, from the man's perspective, right? Okay. Men have one thing.
Okay.
That is ego. Women also have one thing. That is emotions.
Okay.
Now, the ego of a man would not, number one, would not allow him to accept even when he's wrong sometimes.
Most times.
Most times. The ego of a man would not let him, sometimes would not let him fall like on the right road when it comes to relationship issues. In the same vein, women with emotions, excuse me to say, would not let them think so straight in a relationship. Now, there's a typical example of a woman who you've worked with for 35 years.
Okay.
And one day her husband shouts at her or probably slaps her at home, and she comes to the office and she kicks you out of the office just for one mistake you did. She will suddenly forget about the 35 years you've served her because of emotions. So there's this belief that most times women are not made leaders because of that. Now, men, because of our ego, we want to feel the lead. We want to feel the leadership power. We want to feel that place of superiority in a relationship. Most women think it's all about them. Okay, let me throw it small bashing small to
No, go ahead.
Well,
so,
you're up for it.
So that is what happens. So a man now, when a woman plays around a man's ego, there is an insecurity because the man feels like no. And most times it's more serious when the man has emotional scars or emotional wounds that are not healed.
From the past, obviously.
From the past, obviously. Okay, and let's not even go into inferiority complex and other things. All right. So you touch that area and you're like, you just pressed a wrong button that is going to spark a lot of fire inside. Nevertheless, a woman has to make a man feel comfortable and feel secure. That is what a man will expect from his woman, to make him know that, listen, baby, because what a woman is basically in a man's life as a helpmeet and also to inspire the man. Okay, more men have become great and mighty because of women. You know, when you have the right woman who makes you feel secure, who makes you feel special, you go the extra mile. You get what I'm saying? There's a whole energy that builds a synergy, all right, with a woman who would push you and make you feel very special. Then you can drop down. For the insecurity, I can tell you of a fact that in this our era and our time, it is a very dicey situation.
It won't go.
No, it works. That is what I'm saying, that you demand both partners or both parties have to give some kind of premium on their partners.
Yeah.
You know, let them feel that, hey, you are special. You are like my dream. You are the person I prayed for. You are everything. You solve the equations of my life. But when you make the person feel unstable, probably now psychologically, women they have to do with their ear. Men, we have to do with our eyes. All right. So when a man sees a 2021 Velar Range Rover, and the woman is like, "Whoa, the car is so beautiful," you know, the man is like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. I'll buy. I'm praying to get one very soon." All the woman has to do is, "Yeah, baby, I see you driving a new one. You know, I know that business is going to go through, or that career is going to pick up, that promotion is coming, you're going to get that." But when you're like, the woman is quiet and like, "Hey, share your chair," you know, that kind of. Men don't want their egos to be tempered with, you know. And my father once told me something. He said that he said men are babies in the hands of every woman. It depends on how the woman handles them. You get what I'm saying?
Benny seems to agree with you on that one.
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. Men, I don't see. Maybe we have extremes. Men that are tyrants, men that are out of coverage area, you know. But a man handled well is a baby, really, honestly speaking. And if you know how to play your cards well as a woman, of course, your man will do anything. We say usually that men are the head of the homes, women are the neck, and they can turn the head in any direction that they want. And that is the power of a woman. I just wish that many times or sometimes they understand who they are and what they have and the capacity they carry to do what they can do. You know, so yes, I mean, I kind of side with what John and John Wayne
but beyond that, what is this whole insecurity thing? Has it been around since creation?
Oh, it was there before the earth, you know, really got into. I mean,
the God we worship is a jealous God.
Yes, he is.
So he's
and that's why I'm saying that it was there before everything started. You see, jealousy is not really evil.
Okay.
It is what happens with it. A knife is not an evil thing. What you do with it. Fire, it's a good tool to purify and to make things better. It is what happens with the fire that can create havoc or can be better. So jealousy is a very great thing to have. If you have it, it propels you to want to do more. There are the positives element of it, but there are also the negatives. Unfortunately, the negatives have always taken over with whatever is possible in our communities today. And when you look at the impact of what jealousy has done to our communities, to relationships, I mean, it's sometimes you ask yourself what for. You know, someone will pour acid on a partner by virtue of the fact that they suspect. I'm not even talking about having to, get evidence, catch the person in the act. No, just for mere suspicion, people tend to do, different things that your mind cannot comprehend. And, when you talk about the insecurities, it's based on many factors. And one of it could be by virtue of self-esteem and self-value.
Okay.
It's ideal that, that sits well defined with the individual. There are many people who don't see themselves the way maybe you might even see them.
Yeah.
And by virtue of that, they question and query who they are many times. You could be with a man or you could be with a woman. And by virtue of your thinking and the way you are worked up or wired, you don't get to trust anything possible. Sometimes it could be some of the experiences you've had
In the past. Yeah.
which could affect the way you see things. If your partner was with you in a certain way growing up or when you were dating, when you see him, turned the same way with another person, you tend to, okay, I've seen this before. This was how we started. So if I see him acting in those directions, it means that something could be going on.
Yeah.
So there are so many things that could play into the havoc of insecurities
Insecurity.
and can create a lot of
So
havoc.
what causes it? What causes it?
The insecurity.
What are some of the causes? I mean, you from the start mentioned that if a woman plays on a man's ego,
Yeah.
and then also if a man plays too much probably on a woman's emotions.
Yeah.
But what else causes insecurity?
Sometimes I would say financial stands. Financial stands, very important because when I talk finances, it takes few women to see the bigger picture of every man's vision. Okay, it's not necessarily what you currently have or the money you have right now in your bank account, but your vision can be your biggest bank account. Now, when a woman is not able to see the bigger picture of what you are putting out there as your vision as a man, might look down a way. There are a lot of stories of great men who lost women to other people because they started very bad. Their beginnings were very, very bad. And these are examples of life. We can't run away from the truth. Okay, so sometimes financially, your woman loves you. The woman genuinely loves you, but you can't provide. You can't put food on the table. You understand? And she's getting worried. Instead of her still standing strong and pushing. Now, let me go straight to the point. There are certain relationships as it stands now. When somebody should cough 5,000 Ghana cedi to the lady, the relationship, there's fire. Big problem, yes. It will end. If it doesn't end, the waters will be stirred. It will shake. It will take a man with a lot of wisdom, a lot of compassion, care. In that case, love will virtually take the lead in everything because you have to just handle the situation with love. You get what I'm saying? But as we all know, the system, it takes only few women who can see the bigger picture of your life. So when you don't see like that, they are like, is this thing going to work? Is it going to work?
Start asking yourself
a lot of questions. It's gonna, let me tell you, I've had experience. When I started doing music, I was dating a lady. This is my personal experience. So there was a time we had a meeting. We had plans of settling down. So we had a meeting and we talked over. And she was like, John, I don't mind getting married to you, but it looks like the promptings I'm getting are too bad because everybody's saying you're going to be a gospel musician, and gospel musicians will have to go to churches and go and sing, and when they go, people will tell them God bless you and give them envelope, 100 Ghana cedi or 200 Ghana cedi, and can we use this to raise it? And the funny thing, these were coming from pastors, people that were supposed to rather encourage.
Yeah.
So now the girl was insecure. She called me. She said, John, I'm okay with you. I love everything about you, but this music thing, you have other certificates. Why don't you go pursue that one so you can have a stable life? Because one thing about women is every woman wants security. Take it or leave it. Every woman wants security.
Yeah.
Okay. So she wants to know that, okay, if nothing at all, this X amount of money is coming in every month. She knows this one can take care of this bills and all that. I talked to her, I convinced her. Till I told her that, listen, this is not the kind of music and gospel music I'm going to do and go and take envelope from the church. I am solely marrying artistry and musicmanship with the corporate world. I'm in a different platform. I'm not just going out there to go and sing. No, I'm that guy who wants to break into the main corporate world, okay, to get deals and get major contracts. And we are taking the game on a different level. Okay, it's not like this old thing we used to do and all that. Whatever you see, we're projecting businesses all over the world. We are doing product placements and all that. So I had to now, the time I convinced her, it was too late. Because she had listened to what...
And she was gone.
No, she didn't. She didn't want to go, but she was not
So
going.
eventually, what happened? Did she
She
go?
was on the wall.
She was on a wall. So I told her that, you know what, I want to release you so that, don't worry, I want to go and face the world with this thing. And when it gets good, I get back. When the time it got good, when she was trying to get back, I told her, no, I'm sorry, but I have to move on.
That's a very interesting one. But let me find out this, Benny. When a man is insecure, are there signs? Is there any way you can tell?
Oh yeah, I mean, the Bible says that as a man thinketh,
So you see,
so is he. You see, there is something called iniquity. These are hidden sins. They are the types that no one can see, but it's in. Jealousy is one. Enviness is one. Hatred. I can hate you and you never know.
Yeah.
Because it's in it. It's there. Now, at the long run, what is in you will come out. Because with the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Now, say it's super great.
So somewhere along the line begins to show. There's a scripture in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 14, I think verse 30.
Okay.
Very, exciting. Maybe I'll find a way to read it briefly. Just for your listeners. It said that a sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy that rottens the bone. Enviness destroys, jealousy destroys the bearer. And immediately you start destroying, so physically it affects you. It doesn't only affect your emotions and your psychology, but also physically you have an impact of jealousy and enviness. And you begin to see, it shows on the person. When a person is not sound in the way they deal or treat you by virtue of how they think about you or how they relate with you, it will come out. From their words, sometimes it slips out. They will pretend however they want, but sometimes, you see, you cannot depress your heart and suppress the things that are in there. One way or another, a bubble will get out, and what is really in your mind will begin to show. So you speak about what some of these things, or how, this enviness and so on and so forth, insecurities can come out. One of it is comparisons, all right? When you compare yourself one with another, why is he tall and I'm short? And because of that, he is better and I'm not, and so on and so forth. I love something about Tiny. When I was growing up, and Hip Life, came on the scene. As someone who was raised in a Ghana home, I could relate a lot with some of, his lines and his story. And one thing he said was, call here a fall for me, be a town fable. And basically, he's saying that, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I've been to places, and many times when people make if you like, comparisons as to who they want to get married. I want a tall, handsome guy. Then you sit at the back and I, so what about we the short ones?
We'll find out.
What's going to happen?
We'll find out.
But then, I could walk into a room and I feel so tall. It's nothing physical. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
The kind of value I put on myself and the strength in character that I possess. So, irrespective of who the person is, your personal, perception. There is something about perception I want to lay out. There are 3 levels of perception. One is on the emotional level. The second is on the reasoning level. And the third is discernment. People perceive things sometimes by their emotions, how they feel about things. And it's weakening because, you see, your emotions can change. It's like British weather. It's summer in 5 minutes. The next 5 minutes is a different weather altogether. Now, the second level is reasoning. This is when people are sold to logic. Sometimes, many times, very more stable than the emotional ones. But the most effective way of perception is discernment. In the military, they have what we call sensions, your ability to discern the presence of enmity. Without even seeing it, they know something is happening. And they can be able to prepare a whole squad by virtue of signals they are picking up without actually having seen it with their eyes. So it is very important that when you are dealing with elements of what happens when it comes to insecurities and so on and so forth, you also look at it in a very pragmatic way to say that as an individual, have a very solid element of yourself. And you talk about esteem. Yes, you need it because that is how you can be able to stand tall. I'm sitting here with one of the finest Ghanaian, gentlemen musicians,
Humble.
very tall and handsome.
But you feel taller than
Oh
him.
my word, you don't understand. You don't
I'm
understand.
feeling
Benny, you feel taller than him.
Chief, you see, that's what it's perception.
Don't let me do it.
Perception. You see, you can. John is in his own space, but I dwell among my own people.
Give it to me. Give me
I'm feeling you.
But let me find out this one. You know how when it comes to jealousy and this whole insecurity thing, now a lot of ladies, women, wives, girlfriends, a lot of them are associated to love. Okay.
Because they love you.
Yes, I mean, so if you are not jealous, it means you don't love me and all those things. I'm going to come back to that. Let me just go for this break. And I'll urge you to start letting your messages come through so that I can start reading them. Let me know who is more jealous, a man or a woman, and let me know your reason. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Yes, we are back. And before I left off, I asked a question. I said, the men and the women, who is more jealous and why? And I have one message coming from, okay, so this is coming from somebody called Adogo. Adogo is from La Paz. Okay, so Adogo says, the women are more jealous. And the reason is that women like to talk too much. I don't know how that correlates, but, well, that's what Adogo is saying. So women like to talk too much and it makes them jealous. Well, he could have a point. Maybe they like talking to us, so they always want things to come their way. I don't know. I'm struggling to explain this, but I don't know if there's any other explanation. Please let us know. Okay, but we accept that. Yeah, well, you said women are jealous. Yeah, we hear that. So before I left off, I was saying that, you know how this whole jealousy thing is related to love. Is there any? I mean, can jealousy be a sign of love or insecurity?
It's possible. It's relative. Let me better put it this way. It's relative. When it comes to women, like a pure example, when you don't show, if like somebody's trying to play the game on a woman, you are the person in the relationship with the woman, and you feel so comfortable, like, oh baby, that's fine. Oh, a new guy at work, the guy is trying to call her, trying to send her text messages, checking up on her, and you're like, you are cool. That same woman will tell you that you don't love her.
So you see that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
That this
Now,
jealousy. Okay.
When you see the text messages or somebody's trying to call, somebody's trying to be over nice, and you're like, baby, I think this thing, you should watch it. He's jealous. So now, but it boils to the fact that I think women were just made for comfort. God was wise. After creating everything, he created woman. It's a serious signal for humanity. It tells you that women are in their own world. And most often I tell people that a woman is just a female version of a man. You will not get it, but it's deeper. A woman is just a man who is a female. They don't look at it that way. They are more into them. It's me, how she wants to drive it, how she wants to go that way. So when you meet two people who are too strong, what I mean, they're too strong in the head, there's strong friction. The friction is too much, because till the man will just calm down and understand, okay, this is who God gave to me, and I just have to manage her, help her, find a way to make her suit what I want. You start having problems, because when you show them too much love, sometimes they lose it. You'll be surprised. They will tell you that they want the love, and the love is maybe you want to just make her happy. So sometimes you see some things and you want to turn a deaf ear on it, because you want to watch it and expect her to be calm and expect her to know what to do, the right thing. But she'll tell you, this guy
he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. And the other day, I even saw when even this guy was making advances on me, he didn't even care. What shows he really loves me. And what kills most is their friends. When he talked to you about, but if he did that, no. But when you go and you also want to put certain things right, She's like, no, this guy is getting over jealous, and this guy didn't even mean anything. But some of us, we can see very far. Are you getting what I'm saying? And not myself alone, but I know my brother here too.
Oh, Benny sees a lot, and Benny's. I mean, but this issue about the foot soldiers to every marriage is very important. That's, I mean, the friends.
Yeah.
To, you know, I don't think it's just friends on the female side alone. It's friends on the
male
side.
Yeah, on the guy side.
I mean, it's just about the same thing. But Benny, is this whole jealousy thing the same question? Is it a sign of love, or is it a sign of love or insecurity?
I think anything you love, you will jealously protect it.
Perfect.
Anything you love and value, you will guard it jealously.
Okay.
And based on that, there is a requirement on you. So, for example, you bought your Rolex, or someone gifted you a Rolex. No matter how much you love your kids, you might have sent some warning that, you know, don't get close, don't break it. You buy a new car. I think it was Bukum Banku that says that a man
can never be careful
unless he wears a white shirt.
Yeah.
And I always say that when you see a man open the door of the car for the wife, it means two things: either the wife is new or the car is new. Because if the
Benny, I want to walk home safely, please. You said when a man
see a man open the door of his car for the wife, it means two things: either the car is new or the wife is new.
Hey.
When the car is new, they don't want you to bang the doors. So just when you try to open, you say, "Hey, Masa, and they open for you, you get in." If it's an old car and you are waiting for him to come around and open, Masa,
I see.
But when the wife is new also, they want to treat you like a queen, like a princess. So when a man opens the door of the car for the wife, it's either the wife is new or the car is new.
Still in campaign season.
Exactly. and to the effect that you love the thing, you want to jealously protect and guard it. So yes, there's a connection between jealousy and love. But these are the positives we're talking about.
Okay.
And of course, there are the negative components of jealousy, and these are the externals or the extremes that can destroy so much.
I see. I mean, that's well said. Let's take this from a viewer. So this is Leslie from East Legon. Leslie says, men's jealousy is to death. They can kill when they are jealous. Women are jealous, but when a man is jealous, please run. Then another person says, women are relatively more jealous. It's a landslide victory for them on this one. A no-brainer. They are also more emotional and expressive. There's not much scientific evidence to back this claim, but I'm sure we can all conclude from experience. This is Eustace, the MC. Eustace, I know you're watching. Thanks for sending us this. Hey, your wife is there. You take slaps. So we are saying that jealousy can be a positive.
It could have.
But you see, the scenario I painted there. So John somewhat brought it up in his delivery that, so there's this guy texting the lady and stuff like that. You've seen it all right, but you feel like, oh, I trust my girl, I trust my wife, I think she knows best, so let me allow her. After all, it's work, she should just be happy, I don't want to give her pressure. And so you kind of just go cool on it. You may have mentioned it once, but you just make sure you've mentioned it and that's it. And then over time, this same thing that you think you are being cool about questions you. I say you are not jealous, like you don't care. Now, when you do it too much also, why? Is it that you don't trust me? What is it?
You see, people have emotional instabilities and mental discrepancies. Mental discrepancies. There's a shortage somewhere. Our exposure and development, and when you look at emotional intelligence, right? The fact that a man chats with my wife doesn't necessarily mean something. If you are expecting that because a man is talking to you, I should be in your face trying to find out who it is, you're trying to bring me to a level that I don't want to be. You see, you're talking about who is more jealous. I think jealousy has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with the individual.
Perfect.
If immediately you start looking at jealousy in the line of gender, you might think the other party is okay. No, the individual and their mental state of mind can be damaging by virtue of how they interpret. So I spoke about perceptions. Some people will perceive some of the things on the level of emotions. Others will perceive on the level of reasoning, logic. So if you're telling me that because I've seen you or someone chat with you, then I should start deducing something, you know, feel a certain way and react in a certain way. No. I have said many times. I had the opportunity to sit in a room where Nelson Mandela spoke. And one of the things that was a takeaway for me was that you can postpone your anger. You can choose your reaction and postpone how you react later. This is by virtue of the fact that you have the emotional strength to even understand that, yes, I might see an activity, there could be an interpretation. We had a discussion earlier on where people would just see something without paying due diligence to it.
Yeah.
They make a conclusion and it will end up to be totally wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, it's ideal if there's a conversation going on with your partner or your spouse with another person. There's nothing wrong to find out. But to be in the person's face because you are insecure, that obi jeme yere, obi jeme kunu, and then you're trying to, and there are women who won't sleep. When the husband goes to bed, they'll take the husbands for their men that are also like that. It has nothing to do with gender. It's the individual's state of mind. Who die and I know I bet you phone. Masa, obey redo messages. If you are lucky, they will confront you immediately to find answers. If you're not lucky, they will hide it and keep it and bubble it, and those are the dangerous ones. And by the time they damage you, Masa, there's no recovery. Do you understand? So these are some of the critical things that jealousy, and they will try and gather things, they will interpret. And you must understand, I always say that texting has interpretations that in the same line means different things.
Yeah.
So if you are not careful, by virtue of your perception, using emotions, you will perceive that text to mean something that is not meant to be, because you are getting it out of context. And this is where due diligence, asking, finding things out helps better, right? But unfortunately, many times people use the emotional tunnel and it's a point of no return.
John, how do you deal with a jealous partner?
A jealous partner, I think you need to create a platform for the person to feel safe. I said earlier on that women look for security. You have to try as much as possible as you can. It's not easy because we in this digital era, so many things happen too fast. It's a microwave era. Everything is too fast. So you need a lot of patience. Patience needs to play a massive role, and a heart of forgiveness. You should always be ready to, you see, Bible said you should forgive 777 times. So if you really want to keep a jealous person, you should have the mindset of being ready to forgive, to let go. You know, sometimes it will hurt you, but you need to let go. Because as my brother is saying, some people, the reasoning level, some people that can't really move on the reasoning level. The very fast and smart ones, let me come to the Christian faith. The smart ones are the people who now operate in sharp descending spirit, as he's saying, that they can pick things up. You understand? And they can solve them. And if you really love the person, you can find a way to solve your problems, your issues. Just put it straight to the person. For me, I think anything that has to do with what is going to bring issues, it needs to be addressed. Sit down. I don't want this, baby. I don't want. She comes. After all, the love school, the biggest certificates you get when you've not even started the course. You get married and they give you a certificate whilst you've not even started the course. You understand? And it's like you are going on a journey you don't even know.
You just start.
You know, and when you kickstart, you have to be ready to know that, Charlie, the pros and cons. I'll fall in the gutters. I'll fall here. I'll go here. Jealousy is not bad. relatively, there are, as my brother said, there are disadvantages and advantages of jealousy. But when you make it go to the extreme to hurt your partner, that is where the problem is. So for me to deal with a jealous partner, I would force and train you to come into my direction. Fine, we are different people from different backgrounds. Now I have to know your background, where you're coming from. Okay, probably you have some certain experiences, what you've been through, and maybe sometimes it could even be predecessors. It could be parents, what her parents even went through, or what the man's parents went through. Something. It's so funny that you can trace some things to certain things and you'll be amazed. Huh? So if you have a jealous partner, be open. Let your wife or your guy know everything about you. Baby, this is what it is. This is that. When you are open, it will start dropping down. From the takeoff, it might be so shaky, but when the genuinity comes in, he knows that, oh, okay, this is my man. He goes out. When he's out here, he's with these people. He's doing that. He's doing that. I'll not finish, but I'll end by saying communication. I personally, when it comes to jealousy, I think communication will play a vital role when it comes to jealousy, to deal with any jealous partner. Have to have to communicate very, very well. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go on to this very last. When I'm back, the phone lines will also be open. Keep your messages coming, and the phone line will be open so that when we are back, you can call and share with us your thoughts. You can ask questions. You can give us some experience that you have, or you can even tell us who you think. Don't listen to Benny. That's Benny's opinion. You can tell us who you think is more jealous and why. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back. And if you're just joining us, we are about ending what we are discussing today. But hey, we are still here, and the phone lines are open now. The number is 0555 657278. I repeat, 0555 657278. Keep the messages coming. So this is also this is coming from Facebook, and this is from Kofi Abrokwa. Kofi Abrokwa says, nice topic on board tonight. I'm Kofi Abrokwa and a relationship coach. When it comes to insecurity in a love relationship, men are the most insecure or unsecured. Men are unsecured because they find it difficult to understand women. Whatever a person does not understand, the person tends to mostly feel unsecured about it. Thank you for reading. All right, Kofi, thank you for watching the program and thank you for your contribution. Kofi says we don't understand the women, and that makes us insecure. Benny.
Kofi, thank you. Like Nana said, we're sharing thoughts and opinions, so I cannot disagree with you. The only place I might tend to have a different opinion is, once again, genderizers. So, for example, Ghana is not used to, conducting studies to bring out, researched data on certain things.
But how are you going to research who is more jealous?
Oh, there are ways you can find. So you pick samples. You see, this is where you will go on YouTube. You will find institutions in America. We have an entire ministry of gender, and I mean the focus is on just one thing.
Benny, let me hold you on this.
Okay,
Caller.
all right.
Good evening, caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
All right, I'm General. I'm calling from Ablekumo.
Hi, please let's hear you.
All right, so concerning, first of all, I want to salute all of you, counselor and minister as well.
Okay.
Coming out there. I think like but anyway, straight to the point. With this jealousy and insecurity issue, my take on it is that actually it's based on the individual and not on gender. Because we have very emotional men and also we have very emotional women.
Yeah.
But sometimes if we tend to just make it reasonable, men have just taken it logical and their wives have been lured into different angles because women are very soft.
Okay.
So I think that with the insecurity issue, we just need God. But jealousy in itself, for me, it's nothing. It's not a good thing, speaking, because even though we are natural, but we have to just find God to take it out of the way. That's my perception.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you. So that's his take. He says that, look, when it comes to this insecurity and this whole jealousy thing, we just need God.
Oh, he has a point. He has a point.
But Benny, you were saying something.
Yes. I think he just buttressed what I was saying. And I think I love one thing that he said, that men can be emotional and women. The truth is that there are so many emotional men.
Very.
This mindset of, men are logical and so on, you'll be amazed. I'm telling you, there are so many
And
emotions.
so they are logically emotional.
Chief, you don't understand. Some of the men, their
Yeah.
emotions are uncontrolled. I remember when I was in uni, there was this gentleman dating this beautiful lady, and the jealousy. This guy will go after the girl even in class. He will leave his class and come and look for the girl. He will sit there. No one must talk to the girl. If you talk to the girl, he actually paid guys to monitor.
Benny, the guy has a lot of time. Let's take
Chief.
this last call. Good evening, caller. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm Kofi Abroko. I'm calling from Accra Central.
Hi, let's hear you, please.
Yeah, actually, I sent the message.
Oh,
on,
yeah, Kofi Abroko. Okay,
yeah,
please let's hear you.
All right. So, what the truth about insecurity is that
Yeah.
the first thing that you need to know is that when it comes to relationships,
Uh-huh.
a man is the leader of the house. So, whatever problems that come into the relationship, the first person to be blamed is the man.
Okay.
All right. Let's take it for instance. As we are in Ghana right now,
Uh-huh.
if anyone wants to blame someone, the person blames the government.
Okay.
Because you all think that the government needs to take care of the citizens. The same happens in relationships. Anytime there's insecurity, a man needs to be blamed. So going forward,
Kofi, hold on. Are you saying a man is blamed or a man needs to be blamed?
a man, in any time a woman is insecure in a relationship, the one who needs to be blamed is the man.
And vice versa.
No, it is the man who needs to understand the woman, because the man is the head. He has full responsibility to take care of the woman. Yes. It is not the woman who needs to understand the man. It
Okay.
is the man, because he is the head. So he needs to understand whoever is below him. So if a woman is insecure in a relationship, the one who needs to be blamed is the man. So
Okay.
it is the man who needs to understand the woman in order to control any insecurity in the relationship.
Okay.
And as a man, there's no way a man needs to be insecure. That word shouldn't come in the dictionary of a man. Insecurity and jealousy.
Okay. Okay. All right, Kofi. We appreciate your call. Kofi seems to say that it's a man that has to understand. But I wonder how many men have been able to understand a woman. Anyway, let's hold it right here. We don't have enough time, unfortunately. I'll pick a short word, and then we close. Maybe we'll come back to this topic another time.
I think
I
so.
think so.
I think
So
it's now getting.
Yes, Benny. Let's hear
Okay.
from you. A last shot.
The truth is that women don't even understand women. So men trying to understand women
It's
is
a whole
new
course.
ball
Thank
game.
you very much,
Yeah, so-
Johnny.
Life is a mystery. Love is a mystery. Relationship is a mystery. You just have to find a way to ask for divine guidance from God, because this road, as I said earlier on, is like a road you don't know about.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you get people like the likes of my brother
Benny,
here,
yeah.
people who are coaches in that area.
Yeah.
You get people to learn from, at least pick people's experiences,
Yeah.
people's advice and things, and put it together, because as much as you want to know everything or you know everything, you still need
someone to
some
guide you.
some
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Benny.
Nana, quick one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so just to add to this, I think that he mentioned something that I want to clear. It's not one person's responsibility to understand. Both. The Bible says that two cannot walk together
Unless
except
they
they
agree.
agree. There must be. So both of you must understand yourselves. And if there is an element of jealousy, and I think you need help, one of the things is also speak with a
I think that's
counselor.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3.
Yes.
On this note, I am Pastor Nanaya. All right, thank you very much for being part of our evening. We hope to bring you more next week. Maybe we'll come back to the same topic, maybe at some point. But there's one thing I know for sure. We in the lounge have tried to define a woman. We were not able to do it for a whole hour. I don't know what that means to everybody else, but I guess it kind of rings a bell, right?
It's a mystery.
Thank you for being part of our evening. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode. Please be safe. The COVID is still in the corner. It's dangerous. Let's keep the protocols. It's very important. Be safe.